This old guy DIY video has to do with hopefully my last modification for a high lift jack. But as I get older, there's not so much fun in doing things with half-ass equipment and getting hurt and then healing up. So what I've done here is created some supports or stabilizers in front. You can see that I've used 1.5 inch conduit, and I see a lot of guys online using 2x4s, and there's one product online that's 120 bucks or so where he uses what looks like thin gauge material. So I decided to go with 1.5 inch conduit. I had a piece laying around. It was 10 feet long, so I just cut it in half. So I have a 5-foot piece. I drilled a 1/2 inch hole in each end with a step drill, and then I just put this 1/2 inch bolt in there with a wing nut, and then at the end I made effectively outriggers. I just drilled a 3/8 inch hole through and put 3/8 inch threaded rod with a couple of nylock nuts, and then drilled a 2 inch hole. In this case it's a piece of 1/2 inch plywood. I think that'll be enough. If not, I can go 3/4, or a guy can even throw a 2x4 on each side of the post, one here and one there. But my thought is, if you're in stuff that's soft, you have this much, probably 6 inches for the post to dig into the ground, and then this is almost like an outrigger for heavy equipment. When it hits the ground level, it spreads that force across the area of the plywood. So these things, depending on how tight you tighten the bolt, you know, right now they're probably 30 inches apart. You can go as wide or as narrow as you like based on whatever your application is. But I can stand here and just push the legs out like that. So after working yesterday and having all kinds of stuff that was kind of sketchy, I decided now that I'm old, I'd rather invest the time up front, make something that's heavier duty, safer. I'll have time to just drink a beer after the work is done, rather than have to put on Band-Aids or Tylenol and a trip to the emergency room. So this is the story. Oh yeah, the last thing I did is added a little pin here to the front. So now with these straps that I have on the side, and if you haven't seen my other videos, I've got a whole bunch of videos now on this high lift jack operation. So with the jacks on the side and then that little pin on the front, if you want to keep this thing as a modular situation with no lateral movement, you can do that, and you just remove that pin if you want to take the jack off of the base. But I believe this is my final video in what's turned into Jack Week, kind of like Shark Week. But I needed to use this high lift jack. It's the first time I've used the thing in probably 10 years, and it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. So with some online work and then doing my own thing, these are the modifications I came up with. And as they tell you 100 times online, these things are excellent, versatile tools, but they're not the safest thing that's ever been designed or used. So when you're using one of these high lift jacks, just be careful. If this video helped you, please subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.